Beach body ready.
Wait a minute. You wearing Speedos?
Well, I'm going to go, well, stay tuned.
Come on out.
I want to leave you all in suspense.
Right. The mayor actually emceed our event last year, and this year we partnered with E93.
It had Speedos on the other time.
I always have Speedos.
E93 will be sponsoring this event as well as our parking lot parties and our final pool bash this year. They'll be providing food and music. So again, we encourage and invite you all as well as the public to come out and kick off summer on May 23rd, 3 p.m. at Baffin Park. We'll turn it over to Chief LZ Kitchen, who will go through the fire department.
They not like us.
I don't have as many things they do, so I have to show off when I can. So as you know, we have Camp Ignite. There's a hero in her. Excuse me, let me back that up. There's no hero without her. So we will have our Camp Ignite this year. We have start application process April the 30th through May the 30th. Actually, this QR code that's on there now, you can scan it and it will come up. However, it won't be available to put in the application to April the 30th. We plan to host 20 young women at that camp, ages 14 to 21. This camp is totally funded by sponsors. So it doesn't cost the city any money. We have sponsors bringing in the food, t-shirts, refreshments, and things of that nature.
Awesome. That's nice.
Stop, drop, and have fun. So we have an open house every year. We've been having for the last 3 years. We will have 2 open houses this year. And what we like to do with that, bring the community in so they can learn about the fire service, not only learn about the fire service, but also take and have fun with the games and stuff we have for the kids. So we have uniform for the kids to put on. We have hose games, and we also have a little obstacle course that they'll go through to learn how to do little skills that firefighters do. They really enjoy this, and then on top of that, we feed them. So it'll be an open house where they can come in and get on the truck, adults can get on the truck, and we also show them CPR and fire extinguishers. Excuse my voice. We also have our Explore program this year, and we'll graduate May the 21st. So our summer kicks off May the 21st. We actually come out to that. This is a group of young people who dedicate the school year through this program every Wednesday, 5 to 7. They come to the training center to learn how to be a firefighter. They get in the gear, they go through drills, and they actually climb ladders and do the things that we do from day to day. During the budget retreat, you mentioned, we talked about Camp at Night. You asked about a boys camp. Well, we're going to have a boys camp this year. It's going to be called Camp Hero. That name came up from Chief Smith. We were having time trying to come up with a good name, but when she said Camp Hero, it just stuck. So the camp would be called Camp Hero. It would be boys from ages 16 to 22. A 3-day free camp. We plan to model it similar to Camp Ignite, where we have sponsors paying for it. The individuals will come in, they'll put an application, we'll have an orientation, and then they'll go through different drills. We'll have a little more intense drills with them, more hands-on, so they can get the feel for the job. It'll be search and rescue, jaws of life, which is the extrications. They'll climb a ladder, and we'll have fire ops, which is just the operations going through crawling and putting out holes. We try to teach people to learn how to crawl like an infant because we do a lot in fires. However, it's still under construction. We're planning to get a date and everything set up, and we will have it at the training center, but it will be completed before the end of the 100 days of summer. Now I would like to bring up the illustrious Police Chief, Benny Gulley.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council.
Good afternoon.
GM. We're happy to be here today. Jumping right in. So historically, violent crime tends to increase during the summer months due to warmer weather, frequent outdoor activities, and additional community factors. In order to combat the potential increase and to ensure a safe summer for the community, SPD will collaborate with other City of Savannah departments, community members and organizations, and our partner public safety departments. Some of our focuses will be the reduction of violent and property crime, positive engagement with our juvenile and young community members, increase our police visibility, individual officer connections with neighborhoods, building trust and developing sustainable relationships, neighborhood blight and code enforcement, community involvement, and the reduction of shot-spotter calls and gun-related crimes. Digging a little deeper into our strategies, patrol officers and the crime suppression units will focus on daily hotspots and prolific offenders, daily intelligence gathering and distribution through our intelligence analysts will assist officers and supervisors with creating and implementing weekly strategies. Community engagement is essential to intelligence gathering as we continue to work and build trust with our community members. All precinct staff will be tasked with making community contacts. We're going to continue to host and assist citywide crime-focused operations, utilizing multiple units and assisting agencies. And our bicycle patrols will be used as staffing and weather permits. Patrolling on bicycles creates additional opportunities to deter and fight crime, as well as interacting with our citizens. Just to recap, just a little bit. Overall, during the summer months last year, SPD experienced a 12% decrease in total Part 1 crimes, and we remained below our 3-year average, seeing decreases each month. So in June, we had a 2% decrease. July, we had a 13% decrease. And in August, we had a 12% decrease. We saw a decrease in entering autos by 27% last summer. And our biggest decrease was in sudden snatching with 71%. We did have some increases last year. That included commercial burglaries, which increased by 15 incidents, and our residential burglaries, which increased by 19 incidents. So we know what we need to focus on this year going forward. Moving on to our violent crime. Overall, we saw an 18% decrease last year in violent crime. We did see some increases in our sexual assaults. That went up by 3 incidents, and our commercial robberies went up by 5 incidents. We had a 4% decrease in our aggravated assaults with guns. We're going to save some dates. We have roll call in the streets on June 28th. That's going to be in Fellwood. Of note, we have a roll call in the streets this Saturday, Triple Park. That is from 11 to 3. Please come out and support if you could this Saturday. We have Juneteenth events, Magic Mark summer shows, moving on into July. Our Citizens Police Academy begins in July. We have a back to school blast Saturday, July 26th. That's going to be at Nathaniel Green Park, 56 and Bull Street. To be announced a date on this, the Curtis V. Cooper annual back to school events. And then our first date of school celebration is tentatively scheduled for Monday, August 4th for Garrison Elementary. Some more of our upcoming events. SPD summer reading programs at our local libraries, neighborhood reunions and block parties, having a Hurricane Expo, partnering with Chatham Toyota for some events. Lovebridge, the Safe Kids Fishing Rodeo, partnering with the Ones for their Summer Nights basketball, coffee with cops, and then we're going to have ice cream cups with cops. I must highlight our Savannah Impact unit. The goal for Savannah Impact during the 100 days of summer is to engage the community and at-risk youth with pro-social activities to reduce the rate of recidivism. So Savannah Impact, just a refresher, is a collaborative unit that works with various agencies to create a re-entry catalyst for the citizens of Savannah. Their focus is to bridge the gap between law enforcement and the civilian world by offering programming and services to be a one-stop shop. So some dates that are relevant to SIP. May 3rd is their Spring Fling Health Fair from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Insurance vendors will be there to enroll family participants in the programs, which is going to range from Family Fun Day to Getting Healthy. Moving on to June 9th, our kids' summer camp starts. Same day, National Gun Violence Awareness Event. We're going to host that from 11 to 3. Moving on to July, we'll talk about that. Our Girl Police Camp starts. And then in August, they're going to host a back-to-school bash. We're really excited about this. We couldn't let the fire department take over the glory. That was not going to happen. That's my guy.
Y'all in there.
So on July 14th, we're hosting, from July 14th to the 25th, this is our first Beyond the Badge Girls Police Camp. Savannah Impact and our recruiting unit welcomes young women ages 14 through 21 interested in pursuing a career in law enforcement. Participants will go through training to learn what it takes to become a police officer from start to finish. They're going to go through the application process, learn the law of government, learn about the different divisions at SPD, and ride along with a female officer, and that's going to be called A Day in Her Boots. Please spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor Council.
Good afternoon.
So my name is Ariel Ross, and I am presenting on the communications aspect of the 100 Days of Summer initiative. Now, we know as the city continues to grow in how we serve families and youth, communication becomes the bridge between programs and participation. Our role is to ensure every resident not only knows what's available, but they feel invited to participate and join in us, with us. We understand that effective communication is never just about promotion, it's about connection. So we're not just simply posting flyers, but we're building awareness, trust, and participation that moves our community. Our goal is to increase visibility, engagement, and attendance at summer camp programming, especially beyond the 4th of July, typically where some camps see a drop in participation. Our target approach is one message, two audiences, and that is our parents being reached through our City of Savannah channels through clear, timely updates, reminders, testimonials, camp recaps, and then our teens being reached through our Savannah Summerfest channels, and that's where we'll see trend-based content with stories, reels, music challenges, and things that feel native to the teenage experience. Our goal here is to get attention, energy, and shares, not just views. Now, I know you're wondering how we're going to make that happen, and we have a strategy overview that's clear and measurable, and that is by leveraging recap videos from teen events, community programs to show not just what's happening, but also telling the big picture. We're embedding calls to actions in posts to gather real-time community feedback via comments, DMs, and story responses. And we're using last year's data to guide when and where we post so we can maintain traction throughout the entire summer. We have aligned to strategically invest in micro promotions only where we see opportunities to amplify reach and perform in posts that are performing well on our social medias. And we'll be tracking views, engagement, post reach, and activities weekly to monitor what's resonating with our audiences. We built a team that allows for speed and consistency in content across all of our different services and camps that's going on throughout the city. And the team is built up of Ariana, who is our social media strategist, and she'll be responsible for daily management of our platforms on the City of Savannah and Savannah Summerfest pages. We have communication specialists in respective departments from public safety and communications, community services, and they'll be responsible for field coverage and storytelling content curation that will be shared with Ariana for those post platforms. Josh will be handling media relations for camp coverage and requests, and Chelsea will be focusing on long format storytelling videos for SGTV and YouTube. Chris will be doing our website updates and any of our top news story updates on the website as well, so that that information is present when you click on the website. And I think that wraps it on up for today. Thank you.
Yeah. Mayor, that completes our presentation to City Council. I don't know if you have any questions or comments, and we can certainly invite folks back up. They all disappeared, you know.
They're running, but thank you so much, Chief Young, and thank you so much, team. We put our money where our mouth is. We recognize that public safety is a public responsibility, and as a government, we have to do what we can do. And so we're focusing on investment and prevention than dealing with the disastrous effects of young people just not being engaged. I fondly remember summers, and just the fact was it was unscripted, but then you just kind of learned so much. You grew, you came back to school, and for me it was September, but just better, different. Some summers I came to Savannah. So I appreciate all of you again. We kind of shift our focus, but I'm glad that we're doing it all hands on deck. I think it's important. I am going to make a mayoral request because I think it's important. First of all, and I always say this, these camps are not free. They're paid for by the residents of the city of Savannah, the taxpayers of the city of Savannah. And I insist, with all due respect to our neighbors and friends, that city of Savannah residents are prioritized in this. Secondly, and we'll figure out when the city manager returns how to do this, but I don't want a single citizen to have to pay for any of these camps. We'll work it out. Now, particularly the outside camps. And indoor, obviously it's a little different, but I'm concerned about these outdoor because the money that is gathered doesn't cover it anyway. It's more important for me to have every single offering packed with kids from the city of Savannah. The benefit of that saves us much more money than it does on anything else. So let's just figure out a way to do it. I'm sure you've already done the cost analysis of all of that. Again, I think it's negligible. I think we could let's absorb it and figure out a way to absorb it. So
You are absolutely right. It does not cover the cost.
no, it doesn't. So it's like, why are we even doing it? But rather than get into this back and forth, I want to make sure that any citizen of the city that wants to participate in one of these camps, pending availability, that every single camp is full.
It's amazing.
And so I think hopefully council will support that, because $100 or whatever it is. Let's just figure. It's more important to have behinds and seats in the camps than a couple of dollars we're going to get, to be able to do that. So let's just figure out a way. I'll talk with the manager about how we do it. I think we should be able to do it.
That's amazing. Thank you, Mayor. You're good.
Outside camps. I think inside camps are a little bit different for a couple of reasons. But I think certainly all of these different outdoor camps, again, Fire found out how to do it through sponsors. Again, we can sponsor it. We can, this is for our citizens. And so I think it adds to the value that we're trying to do when we're asking people to trust their kids with us. And so I don't want there to be, because people's money sometimes is a little funny and things are strange. And we want kids to be kids. We don't want kids to have to deal with the life issues that we're all dealing with right now. I want them to go out and just have fun. And let's figure out a way for them to have it. All right? So let's talk about how we do it, and then if we have to bring back something to the council to approve, then let's just figure out how to do it.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. That's awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Chief Young, thank you for the presentations. Well, not just you, but the police department, fire department, everybody who participated in it was advertising your activities for 100 Days of Summer. I wonder, and I have a suggestion, but have you thought about how we, as this group of 9, can help you get the word out, because it's upon us. And I think oftentimes, I think I heard Nick say at Ardsley Park, your meeting the other night, that we sometimes lack participation because people just don't get the word. So what can we do as we travel over the city, whether it's to our churches, clubs and organizations, and the community? What do you have anything? You know, I'm still old school, so even if it's just a little card, business card of sorts with the website address on it, something that we can, if we have, you know, the microphone can announce and say, I have cards that direct you to the website to our register.
Well, Alderwoman Bell, I did not actually pay her to say that.
You know, we're on the same wavelength.
And I love the idea of cards. We will certainly get cards because those are small and easy to give out. But I do want to, and I'm glad you mentioned it, draw your attention to some documents that we dropped off at your spots. This is the one-pager that we, for the first time, did last summer. We've updated it. This is really something for you. We know that you get asked often about what all is the city doing. So this is two-sided, but it captures all of the activities that you heard about today, and it has police, fire, cultural arts, recreation, human services. All of that is on here, and it gives you the time of the year for that. But you also, we dropped off a stack of flyers. I hope that you have at your locations. The very first one, I believe, on the stack is for lifeguards. I know we made a commitment to bring those to you. We really need your help. You all know that we have been regrowing our program since COVID. COVID seems like it was 10 years ago, but it wasn't. We are just at 5 years from our close in 2020. And if you recall, in 2021, when we went to open, for the first time, we were putting tape on the ground and standing 6 feet apart from each other, and nobody really wanted to get in the water with each other because we just didn't understand what the impacts were. So those years, we had lost all of our lifeguards, and we've been in the process of rebuilding that program. And so we are still recruiting for folks who want to be lifeguards. A lot of times those are our younger people, but if there are older people that also want to become lifeguards, what I'm excited about is that the pay, I believe, is, I don't have a set in front of me, but I think $20. So if you can really help to promote that along with the activities that we have throughout the summer, we will get you that card with a QR code on it where they can go straight to our website and then open up all of these various activities that are already online. I make that commitment to get you cards for that. And we certainly agree we want to fill all of the seats. If we can serve over 400 a week, we need to be doing it. We know we have even more kids out there than that. And it would be lovely this year if we hit full capacity this year.
Are the working hours flexible for lifeguards? See, I'm taking you up on what you said the other night.
Yes, it's definitely flexible. The 4 city pools are essentially open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So there are different shifts between those hours. And then also we have a lot of high school students that have to leave to go away to college to do college visits and things like that. So we have, whether they can work 40 hours, whether they can work 20 hours, as long as they can get their certification, we will find a place for them.
And training starts, I see that on March 31st.
Yes, we actually started lifeguard training during spring break when the kids were out of school. We offered 3 lifeguarding sessions per day, all 6 days that week. We have a good set of kids that have remained committed to that program, and we continue to build every single year new students and trying to get them to come back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything on this side? Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I want to say thank you all so very, very much for this presentation. It is phenomenal. It is awesome. Mayor Johnson, I thank you for saying what you said about making sure that our outdoor camps are full. with children and they don't have to pay anything. That is just phenomenal. You know my concern is about swimming pools. Could you please, for the sake of our community knowing exactly what's happening with Brock and Schumann pools, let them know what's going on, because a lot of people is thinking that it is the city's fault that those pools will not be open. Could you explain and let them know exactly what's going on with that situation?
Also, include Haven in the conversation.
As well.
The city of Savannah has 4 active pools that through Recreation Reimagined that we've actually been renovating. At the same time that we began that, which has really been in the last year and a half or so, the Board of Education has also been evaluating their pools. The original arrangement that was in place for years was that they've always been Board of Ed property, but we have offered the programming with lifeguards and opening the pools. When COVID happened, of course, all of them closed. And as we were coming out of COVID, 2 years afterwards, everyone began to say, we better take a close look at the condition of these pools as we are rebuilding our programs. So at the time that the board began to review their pools, we did not have enough lifeguards anyway. And so we've been in the process of just getting to the point in the last year where we were able to fully open up our pools. We also extended our season from 10 weeks to 20 weeks, which increased the number of lifeguards we needed beyond what we ever had before COVID. From what I understand, the Board of Ed right now is evaluating how they want to move forward with their pools. We have had staff to reach out to them. At this point, I know they're in discussion, but they haven't made a decision. But from what I have heard, they have Jenkins, as you know, you've probably written by that. That was one that was renovated. And I believe that one is able to be operable this summer. I'm not sure the status on specific pools, but every pool has to pass an inspection from the health department. And that process would have to be completed before anything could open. Our goal is to increase the number of lifeguards that we have so that as pools become available, that we're able to staff those pools and make them available to the public. If we don't have enough lifeguards, we will look at some split scheduling, but we've heard that the priority is as many pools as we can get open.
Yes.
We want to get open and we want to be able to staff those. We know those are vital resources. We aren't intending just to open them for free play. We want to make sure kids are learning how to swim.
That's right.
The more children who get in a pool who can actually swim, the lower the level of stress on the lifeguards. When you have a bunch of kids in the water and they can't, and they're playing and none of them can swim, that's where you might have to react to more children. So we want to make sure that we're not only staffing pools, but we're teaching the kids how to swim. So from the city standpoint, we are on track to open all of ours. You heard an extended period of time, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's 12 hours a day. And we want to have the best lifeguards that we can, but we do recognize that our lifeguards are young people. We want them trained and certified, but we also have to make sure we're creating an environment that allows them to be successful as lifeguards and not putting them out too quickly at locations. So as the board makes decisions, we'll be in discussions with them about those pools. But our goal is to increase the lifeguards should they be ready for pools to reopen.
Thank you so much.
Let me just add to that a couple of things. We have our 4 pools. Let's name the 4 pools.
We have Bowles Ford at that park. Tompkins has a beautiful pool that's been redone. WW Law, and also Daffin Park. And so that hits us from east to west.
Right, and those are the city pools. Now, there have been pools that the school board has owned and operated, and we've shared in that. But you need 5 lifeguards?
Yes, sir.
To operate a pool.
Every
And really, it's probably 6 because you have to have a vacancy factor in this as well. But if you don't have 5 lifeguards, you can't operate a pool. So for us, it's really a matter of being back to basics, doing what we can do at our pools and doing them well. Ultimately, we have to kind of figure out where the school board is with theirs. I mean, obviously, they're not into the pool business either. But to your point, I'd also gotten calls from people just not really understanding that some of the pools they mentioned, we don't own. We don't own them, but we don't maintain them. So therefore, they're not in our equation. So I think the top line here is all of the city of Savannah's pools are operating and fully active 12 hours a day. The other issue is that, kids can only work a certain number of hours a day, so you have to make sure, again, that you have, I would rather do that than move to other pools and then you're open today and not open tomorrow. You just have a bunch of stuff going on, so I hope that does clarify.
It does, and I'm so thankful that you had the opportunity to say that so that the community would know that the pools do not belong to the city of Savannah, they belong to the Board of Education. So I would encourage our constituents to call the Board of Education and say to them, what's up with the pools, okay? I see where Brockhaven, Schumann, and well, Jenkins is good. Brockhaven and Schumann. Also, I see here where you have adult pool monitors and adult pool assistants that you're hiring for. Now, when you say adults, what is that a certain age group that you're talking about?
Just 18 and up for adult monitors. These are the folks that help with check-in, registration. They're usually the first person you see when you come into the pool facilities.
Oh, okay. And 18 and
18 and up. We try to have a little bit of an age gap difference between our lead lifeguards, our regular lifeguards, and then also the people who help out with supervising the facility as well. But it is 18 and up, yes.
Sounds good. Y'all are just doing awesome. Okay, on the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, up to 10 neighborhood improvement teams. Which neighborhoods are those? And if other neighborhoods want to get engaged and involved, can they do it? How do they go about doing it? Is it too late? Explain that more in detail.
It's certainly not too late. And in fact, if we hit 10 and we have some extras that want to come along, we will extend more grants out. We were just trying to raise the bar this year. I think we had 7 last year. We wanted to move up to 10, but if we have 11 or 12, or you have neighborhoods that want to be involved, they can certainly be involved. And I'd like to ask Mr. Isaac Felton to come up with the ones team to let you know what we have so far.
Okay. I'm concerned about the south side. Is there any on the south side?
Good afternoon. Right now we have 9 neighborhoods. The neighborhoods that we have that has registered is Woodville, Hudson Hill, Liberty City, West Savannah, Leeds Gate, Southside, Fraser Home, I said Windsor Forest, Southside, Hudson Hill, Collar Brownville, and Caton and Fraser Home. We have 1 vacancy, and I'm reaching out to Can Park, someone to do that neighborhood. But,
Okay. On the south side, on the west side of Middle Ground Road, it's a whole bunch of neighborhoods over there. And Anand Raul is our neighborhood association president. I'll try to reach out to him. I'll give you his number, because that area over there, especially our median area, we can use a lot of help over there.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll give you his number. The ONES program. Let's see. I just want to thank the fire department and the police department. Thank y'all so very, very much. I'm going to promote this. I do a Tuesday night podcast, and people have been asking, what are we going to be doing for the summer? And when I tell you, this is a plethora of things that our children can do, and I'm going to encourage each and every one that has children to get them involved and engaged in these activities, because you never know. Because of these activities, we could be saving lives. Okay? Thank y'all so very, very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're running out of time, so.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Chief Young, for the presentation and all of your staff on today in reference to the 100 Days of Summer. I think I still have 2024, I call it my Summertime 100 Days Bible on my dashboard, because this is such a tool. You're absolutely correct. As I moved around last year, and not just in my neighborhood association meetings, but throughout the community, this was just so handy to use. So thank you all so much for this tool. The other thing is, thank you, Fire Department, Chief Kitchen, and all of the department. Thank you so much, Chief Gunther, and all of the department for continuing the focus on our young women. The activities and the programmings that you all continue to do really help to expand the amount of females that who can get involved, who can learn how to get involved with law enforcement. So I continue to applaud you. Thank you all so much for the focus on all of the camps and the programmings that you all are doing for our young people. So my ask to the public is that you please take advantage of all of the programming, especially for our young women, to get involved. Our city is doing all that we can to increase the numbers of females and I'm stressing this so much is because traditionally and still in 2025, these areas are still predominantly male-oriented led. So again, kudos to all of you for the work that you are doing. The other thing is that I too echo the sentiments of Alderwoman Blakely, Chief Young, and Mr. Mayor, expressing to our public and clarifying the pool situations on our responsibilities and what we're doing, and especially with those school board properties. Had a lot of conversation in the last 8 or 9 months over at Haven, and I'm glad that this is being publicized so that people can understand and the work that needs to be done with our constituency. And as Alderwoman Blakely stated, that just continue to call the school board and see what you can do on that end. Thank you so much, Mr. Roberts, for, just bringing that light to the city of Savannah. Since you've been here, you have really increased our the programming and staff. Yes, and staff. Yes. And engaging our public into the area of fun and recreation and health and nutrition, just all of it. So thank you for that. And also with the theater, that's a new thing. That is somebody's cultural arts. That department, being here for a minute, that is something that's really new. And it's going to be really good and fun. So I'm glad to hear about all of that. So thank you, everybody, for what you're doing. It's going to be a great 100 days of fun, Savannah. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Alderwoman Alder Bryant.
Yes, sir. First of all, I'd just like to say, Mr. Mayor, our citizens need a return on their investment. And sometimes it's not about the money. So thank you for, entertaining that idea. I'm sure that we would all get a unanimous vote on that, making sure that those parents who are working, everybody knows most of the money is going to daycare. And if we can defray the cost of daycare, that would be absolutely amazing. The dates for the water aerobics, if you could let us know. I've been going to that for a while, right? And I want to tell you that having our kids involved in this type of things, 2 lifeguards that I know personally, Will Brown and his brother John, they worked as lifeguards for years, and now they're attorneys, and They are the children of Walter Brown and the executive secretary who's retired from the school board, Mary Davis Brown. Those are her sons. And that's family. So thank you. We want to do it. The other thing is on your flyer, summer teen nights. Summer teen nights. There are 14 places, but there's not one on the agenda for the east side. Let's see what we can do about that. They're all in the first district. On the parking lot parties, I love WW Law, but they're actually in the second district. We do a lot of things with them. Can we see about getting a parking lot party for the third district at the park? On these cheerleaders, you know, they have a lot of, the camps are really good. I want to know what we're doing with that money, and if we could take that money to who, are you doing contests or who wins? Because I'd like to see, we concentrate on the boys all the time. If we could send the winning team to one of these tryouts, and they do them locally in Augusta and Macomb. I see them all the time. My kids are involved. Can you add that too for the girls? Yes. Now, I've been given, I got a park. I work at a park. It's in the mighty 3rd district, and I'm there once or twice a week. And so they gave me some flyers that I posted on my city page, right? But they're not listed as a place of summer camp. Is that a typo or whatever? Because they're actually going to have a summer camp.
Right, so those are recreations. I think Human Services has their own flyer, but we will make sure and cross-collaborate.
But I mean, look, synergy.
Right.
And, you know, we're working in silos. We want to get the same information at the same time. Okay, what else I had? You're going to tell me about the dates, right, for the water aerobics?
So water aerobics is actually June 2nd, I believe it starts. It's Monday to Thursday, and it literally goes from June all the way out through the end of September. 4 days a week. I believe it starts at 6:30. 6:30 p.m.
Amazing. I've been going there for over a decade now. I enjoy it. I think that's all I have. When we talk about equity and all of this stuff, it's good that the other districts are having, but we want to be inclusive and not see where we're at. Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank the fire department. They always give a kick butt presentation. Chief Butler, you're getting there, man. You know, come on now. I see. But I appreciate your time and your effort and your energy, and we're going to keep it live and survive 25. It's going to be a very hot summer because it was a very cold winter, and you know it's from one end of the spectrum to the other. And so we want to make sure that mayor and councils have already agreed that let's give them return on their investment. Chief Daphne, you know since the pandemic we were doing this 100, and we made it work during the pandemic. So we want the staff to have fun too. I appreciate that. And thank you for putting a schedule of where the park is going to be giving free lunches. And I also want to ask, like Dan, like, as a privilege, right, I want to offer my services. I'm a post-certified conflict resolution and mediation. And so I would want for the police department, the fire department, and all of our program to insert some type of classes about bullying. We need to be in front of that. A lot of the programs that we have, even with they're less than. And so the summer is going to be a good time to get these kids ready to go back to school to talk about bullying. And if you would allow me to do that, I would love, and I have some other retired officers who want to come back and offer a free class to any of the programs you have as a part of your instruction on bullying. We know that that is a problem with the school board, and so whatever we can do to eliminate any kind of negatively impacted stuff, we want to be able to do that. And you have people in city council who can assist by doing that. Just ask. Let us know in advance.
We certainly will.
Thank you so much for your time, for your energy, and I'm loving these presentations. And we still want a rematch between the fire department and the police department, and we don't want him coming to that game. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mayor, definitely we want to give a shout out to our recreation department because I know many days we went to neighborhood association and everybody said, you know, our kids don't have anything to do. But this shows that our kids and our young adults have so much to do. And I definitely want to give a special shout out to our ONES program, our Savannah Impact programs. So, and those are very vital programs that work within our community. And I just ask folks, throughout the summer, if you don't have a relationship with your kids, or you're trying to find something for them to get into, or somebody to mentor, please utilize those programs. The investment at WW Law, I thank you, Taffany, for that investment. There's a lot going on at WW Law. We have some brand new leadership over at WW Law with Ms. Lakeisha. And there's a lot that's happening. We have our young people that's coming back in. We're inviting our senior babies, as Linda said, but I call them our aunties. So everybody's coming back into the building, and we're going to try to utilize that investment as much as possible. Chief Young, we've secured some money from the city manager to secure some bounce houses. I'm not sure if we got those, Daphne, yet, but we've secured those so that we didn't have to rent any. But he secured some money for us to purchase those bounce houses so that we can move around the community and just cut some things down so we don't have to go and rent from somebody. We already have this stuff. And for clarification, with our pool opportunities over at the Delaware Center, we're going to turn that pool into a splash pad because the pool itself has the type of damage that can't be repaired, and that's it's going to cost more to repair it than it is to even fill it in. So, Mr. Mayor, that at Delaware Center, there was a crack in that pool, and it's going to have to be filled in. But that splash pad is going to be a wonderful thing for the seniors at Williams Court and the young people that utilize that center. But the quote that I read today said, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, but if you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. I was wondering did we think about teaching our young people how to fish at Daffin Park, because we just made an investment. We put 700 fish in that pond, and we want to be able to find a way to bring our young people out to that pond and see if we can get them licensed and teach them how to fish. So that might be one part of recreation. Since we're doing a reimagine of recreation, that's a part that once I came to Savannah, also we were going back and forth to New York. We were taught how to fish. So those are some wonderful fish out there in that pond. The state of Georgia also added fish to it, and they do it yearly. Again, I want to express my appreciation not only for WW Law, our Delaware Center, our Savannah Impact, our ONES, and our Savannah Police Department for taking the extra effort to go out into the community and not only just talk to the people, but actually give them an opportunity to do something different with their lives, because we're dealing with the ONES program that deal up to a certain age, and then we have our SIP program that deal with the holistic part of the entire family through our police initiatives. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Anything?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you all for the work that you put into those presentations. It's appreciated. First, the summer lunch in the park. We're going to have a stop in the first district on the west side, please. I think that's what they used to dub as the free lunch program, and we must, based on the demographics and the economics, have one over there. Thank you for that. Then I wanted to mention about the pools. I think it was a very poor comment to be made that we're not in the pool business. I think those are cop-out statements when we are in the business of the whole child and working with children. And in the school system, we deal with trades. We're not in the trade business. We're not in the masonry business of the cooking or the chef business. And we're not in the history business, but we have to deal with the whole child. So let's just throw that out because that's a cop-out. At 4 years old, I learned to swim at Bartow, that is now Brock, through a program. I wasn't in school, but my siblings were, so they just threw me in the program too because I was there. So these programs, and everyone in my family could swim. So we need to teach these children and give them an opportunity as much as we can. When we look at these schools, I heard the comments that were being made by the school board, and it was even suggested, and I was thinking along the same lines, just turn those pools over to the city. Now, the taxpayer dollars, whether it's school board, a city of Savannah, paid for those facilities, for those
structures, and I think we need to be having those type of conversations. There was an intergovernmental agreement between the school board and the city of Savannah that allowed us to work together, where the school board had the infrastructures, the facilities, and we offered the programming and staffing. And for a while it worked, and that agreement is no longer in place. These are the conversations we need to have. Let's make it work. So right now, the Bowles Ford pool is in jeopardy, and we're probably, it's being suggested that we're going to cover that one up. That's not a good thing. And then I just heard about Delaware, so that'll be 2 pools that we're losing. If you look on the west side in the 1st District, and from Kyle Brownsville, around the edges of the 1st District, Okeechobee, Tremont Park, all the way back over to the north side, Hudson Hill and West Savannah, Woodville, we have the Bowles Ford pool, we have the Tompkins pool, and then the pool at Brock, and then we have the sprinkler on Hudson Hill. So we won't be having the pool at Brock. So what will remain is the Bowles Ford pool that is in jeopardy of coming out. So if and when that happens, we'll only be left with the Tompkins pool on Ogeechee Road and the sprinkler on Hudson Hill for 10 neighborhoods in low-wealth, vulnerable, marginalized community. That's unacceptable. And doing some research, and we're talking about these children and the benefit of them having the opportunity. There was one time the children in the South couldn't swim because we didn't have pools, but children in the North could swim, and this was well known. That's why when we look at the Olympics and all of the places where swimmers excel, you didn't see Southerners or and Black folks because of these situations. Now, if we look at the benefits of why these pools are important, just like any other area in education, it has benefits for physical health, mental well-being, social skills development, safety skills, community engagements, confidence building, creativity and play, accessibility and inclusion, and it goes on and on and on of the benefits when children are allowed and exposed to the opportunity for pools and learning how to swim. So I suggested to the city manager that we look at the possibility of the city acquiring those assets and then looking at the SPLOST to see if we could include those to make sure they come up to par as far as conditions. I know we can't get programming money out of the SPLOST, but if we could get that infrastructure dollars, that's something for us to consider. And then we could deal with how we deal with programming, and you all are doing a great job in the training and getting the lifeguards ready, and thank you for that. Also, I wanted to mention, please, that we do not forget the Highlands. There's so many children, and you know what the records are telling us about the increase of population on the western edges of our city, and we don't have anything. We need to get in front of this. We have the fire department out there, so let's see if we could get something happening prior. They don't have a community center, of course, but all of those children out in the summer, and they don't have a program for engagement for those kids. So let's see if we could get something there, please, for that part of the 1st District. And lunch. Oh, the summer lunch, I mentioned that. That's so important. And I think that's all of the comments that I needed to make, but I want to thank you all for the work that you're doing and thinking about our children and how we're going to engage them, because this is going to be a very, very, very hot summer, and more than just temperature. Because if we look around and our social, economic, and political conditions with the federal jobs that's lost, other jobs that's being lost and impacted, the unemployment is going up, and the numbers haven't even hit yet, but food assistance and accessibility, the cutting of Section 8 programs that support socially and economically stressed and vulnerable communities have been cut. And by summer, when all these children are out of school and parents are stressed and trying to arrange schedules for their children, and all of these situations are happening in our environment, it's going to be a very hot summer. So we need all of these programs, and we need the water, the pool, and those things just to help cool our babies off. So thank you for all the work that you all are doing, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you all so much. We stand at recess till 2 o'clock.